Good morning, everybody. This is Steven with Cannin.com, and this week we're going to look at Planet 13 out of Nevada, out of Las Vegas. They're a pretty small company in terms of footprint, but pretty interesting company in terms of revenue, debt, margins. One of the few out there making money right now, although on a small scale. So if you're one of those traders that likes profitability and good margins and good debt to equity ratios, this is the company for you. But let's jump over to the pricing chart and see what we can learn with some simple strategies today. You'll see we're looking at PLNHF, which is the OTC ticker here in the United States for Planet 13 Holdings. And they're trading right now at about $2 and have been since about the middle of May. I'm just going to scroll out a little bit so you can see some of the action. When they first started about 60 cents, they've gone up to about over $2, and since then I've ridden the roller coaster. Today we're looking at keltner channels, which, as we know, is a moving average, with the average true range helping us determine the upper and lower boundaries. And we're also looking at the RSI, which is the Relative Strength Index. This RSI helps us identify overbought and oversold conditions, as we all know. This would be one of those instances. So with this, a very, very simple strategy, I wouldn't recommend this strategy, but one to keep in mind to validate, is when we cross outside of these thresholds at 30 and 70. Here we crossed 30, and let's just see what the price did here. Had you entered the trade there about 160 and then exited the trade when we crossed back above 30, about 95 cents, you would have had about 65 cents worth of profit there had you shorted it, given what the RSI was telling you to do. Similarly, let's just look above 70 here. The price was about 150, and then once we get that easy signal, about 240. So we would have made maybe 90 cents there. Those are huge moves, really easy to interpret. Above 70 and below 70, below 30 and above 30. So pretty easy to interpret there. You can see we just approached 30 and are now increasing up. We're right around mid 50s now. So keep that in mind and watch for those crosses above 70. But do it in combination with these keltner channels. You want to watch for periods where candles will close above the upper range or close below the lower range. If it closes above the upper range, that would be one signal to buy. If it closes below the lower range, and remember this is average true range, that's how these are statistically calculated, then that would be a trigger to sell. So I'm just going to zoom in here, and here would have been the first trigger right here to buy. So you would have gotten in a little later, 157, but look at that upward trend. And we just had across the moving average, and if we get a couple more candles upward to actually close above, that would be a trigger to buy Planet 13 Holdings. So keep that in mind as we start to see both of these indicators align in the same way. Make sure to keep watching the daily charts for these types of movements. Hopefully this was a good refresher. If not, then hopefully it was a good introduction into keltner channels and RSI. Let me know your thoughts, and let me know what companies you want us to dive into the technical and fundamental analyses in the comments section. Thank you so much.